Welcome to the Tucson NetworKings podcast. I'm your host, Gordy Seward, along with master networker and sales guru, Don Zavis. Together, we talk about how to get the most of your business networking in Southern Arizona. We'll discuss tips, tricks, what to do, what not to do, with some amazing people that know how to build lasting business relationships from this thing called business networking. So strap in and enjoy the show. Welcome, everyone, to the Tucson NetworKings podcast. We are joined today here with Don Zavis, our co-host, the one and only Don Zavis.
The one and only,
yes,
please blow smoke at me.
We have some awesome guests here today. We have some guests that I've been trying to get on the show for quite a while. We'll start off with Porsha Martinez from Winsor Consulting and Joe Wells from Winsor Consulting. Now, you would think, what are a couple of... well, first of all, Winsor Consulting, a IT...
Well, yeah, Winsor Consulting IT company.
IT company.
But we're here about Tech Nerds United.
Yes, exactly. So, well, that was my thing. Like, what are these guys doing?
Let's do this right.
What are these nerds? I'm going to say this because it'll all come back around. What are these
sorry,
nerds
Brian.
doing here on this networking podcast, Tucson Networking Podcast? Well, Joe and Porsha started something pretty awesome. How long ago?
Gosh. It's almost 6 years.
6 years ago.
January. 6 years.
A legendary networking event for nerds by nerds. It is the Tech Nerds United networking event. Tech Nerds United networking.
We should do
event.
a podcast.
Yeah, you should. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, now you're getting.
So welcome, guys. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you
It's
for
good
being
to be
here.
here. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
So, first of all, you said about 6 years you started it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How did it start?
Yeah.
How'd you come up with this idea for an event for a bunch of introverted
Well, it was.
Yeah,
IT people?
Porsha?
Gordy, it was 2020, right?
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
right
Whoa,
before,
even more
right
challenging.
when the,
Yeah.
Exactly. And so
Okay.
I think that was it. It was challenging to be able to connect with people, especially who are introverts to begin with.
Exactly.
And so I think what we ended up toying around with the idea of starting an online group to kind of come together. And then this one has some grand ideas. And he decided that, well, why, if we can't get together at a bar,
Right.
we can't, get together that way, why don't we send beer their way? And get them to have a happy hour online,
Absolutely.
right? Wasn't
Yes,
that
that's
about
what we
it?
did.
And
No.
you guys went to
I hand-delivered beer to lots of
hand-delivered
people's
beer
houses.
to people's yeah.
And then we got on a Teams call.
Okay.
And
So
we
that's how it
drank
started.
and told
And-
stories.
It was like, a couple people online.
Yeah.
Right. But then when things started to open up a little bit, we did an outdoor gathering and we had
Five
people.
Okay.
Five.
More than we had at my first one, so I'll give you that.
And we were so excited, too, to have 5 people.
We were.
Because we had spent like $1,000 on raffle prizes.
Oh boy.
So everybody got great raffle prizes.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone walked away. With
Everybody walked away a winner.
How did you guys market it first time around, or how'd you get the word out?
Porsha is a marketing. Are we allowed to use the word queen in today's world?
Yes.
I don't even know
Yes.
anymore.
Yeah.
I'll take. I mean, they're
Yes.
using King, so
They're
it's,
using King.
I
This
am
is the
now
Tucson
queen.
NetworKings. You are in the
And
right
queens.
place.
Yes, it's all royalty.
Porsha, Porsha just has skills, and the way we market it is we emailed and called and texted a lot of people,
Okay.
and we said, come to our great event, and 5 people showed up.
Well, I also think the idea of coming to the name, right?
Oh, my God, the
Tech
name.
Nerds Unite. And even before Tech Nerds Unite, it actually stemmed from Lambda.
Right. Which
And if you guys know,
Revenge of the Nerds.
it's a
Yes.
Revenge of the Nerds,
Yeah.
which, by the way, was filmed here
At U of A.
At U of A.
That's
which
right.
they-
And-
College.
Adams College.
And what else? The Scottish Rite Cathedral actually filmed. So they filmed at the Masonic Temple.
Oh.
Right here in Tucson as well. So some of the scenes that were done actually at the Scottish Rite Temple.
Oh wow.
Here in beautiful Tucson, Arizona, everyone.
Well,
you go.
and one of our first
Pitch in
members
Tucson?
actually was the person who owned the house that leased it to Revenge of the
movie,
Nerds.
the production.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Had kind of a
Big-
built-in
big
nerd thing going,
fraternity.
right?
Yeah, he
I remember
actually-
that.
So he was, so he was one of our nerds that
Yeah.
came.
Okay.
So it's all full
we were actually
circle.
afraid if people are going to even hate the word nerd, but the reality is we are nerds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And-
true definition.
And they love it, and it's grown now to, we probably have 400 to 500 active members,
Right.
Really? Wow.
but we have at least 5,000 plus attendees.
Right. You've taken this
Yeah,
nationwide now?
Yeah.
We've
yeah,
taken it
yeah,
nationwide.
We have.
But the whole idea too on Tech Nerds, you talk about networking, Gordy, it was to bring people together. I had this
Right.
conversation today with Mike from previously Signet example. And he says, Joe, but we're competitors. And Gordy, you and I have had this conversation. I said, Mike, you don't even know what Winsor does. How are we competitors? And he's like, well, you're an MSP. And I said, every MSP is different.
Yeah.
And the reason we called it Tech Nerds Unite is because we wanted people to understand just because we're all in technology, we all do things differently. We can all help each other out.
Exactly.
We can all exchange leads. I'd rather give my business to a friend in Tucson that I can't
Absolutely.
do
Sure.
than have it go to nothing against Dallas if I have
Right.
Dallas friends out there.
Right.
But I'd rather go to somebody in Tucson.
Absolutely. What's the rising tide raises all ships.
Right.
When everyone's industry goes up, everyone's industry goes up. So no, I firmly believe that.
So I used to tell, our buddy Matt at Login, for example, I said, Matt, not everybody wants the Premier Cola that I'm offering. I will send you the ones that want your cola that doesn't have certification. It's all good.
Right.
You're not a bad company. You're still
You have a different focus.
Just a different focus,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so I was sent it that way. But the group's really grown. And you talk about introverts, Porsha. I have this great CIO, and I'm not going to mention his name, but he never came to the events. And I said, I don't get it. Why don't you come to these events? You're great. And he finally showed up to one. He said, well, Joe, I'm an introvert. I said, well, don't worry. There's lots of introverts at this event. And I walked him up to 5 people that were at the event and said, hey, I can't say his name. Here are some other introverts.
Right.
Enjoy their company. I did introductions and I walked away. They talked for 2 hours because they all talk the same stuff.
I noticed that. Yeah. When
Yeah.
I was a little concerned. I walked in my first time at you guys had it at one of the breweries downtown, I think.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
quite downtown, but like, man, how's this? And I walked in, man, everyone, hey, walking up to it was like, are we sure we're a bunch of nerds here? Because everyone's walking up, welcoming you. And
Well, and I think that's the thing is, I've been to some networking groups and it's isolating. I don't feel comfortable. And to have people, and both Joe and I are very gregarious in that way. And we'll go up if we see someone standing by themselves and be like,
Yep.
hey, what do you do? It's more of that inclusive vibe that we want. Everyone's included. Everyone's there to be able to connect, and let's make those.
You have to introduce people.
absolutely.
And we have some rules, no selling, no PowerPoints. We've only had to kick one person off the stage because they did a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
And when I saw it go up on the screen, I was like, oh, guys, no PowerPoints. This is get to know people. I tell people not to sell their Gordy. You've noticed that.
Yeah.
I want people to get to know people.
Right.
If somebody wants to do business with you, once they get to know you, they're going to do business with you.
Success story, full disclosure here. I'm working on a really nice deal thanks to the Tech Nerds United event, and I think Joe knows about it.
Yeah.
And it could be a nice nice deal. Hit my quota for 6 months. So
It'll get you to President's Club, I hear.
It could. It very well could. Yeah. Yeah. So, we talked in the past about making your cash register ring. That's what it's all
Absolutely.
about. That's the reason why you network.
Yeah.
You don't network just because you're bored and lonely and just want to get out and have a drink with someone. You network to build your business and make your cash register ring. So I want to thank you
I've been
guys for
working
that.
with Viaggio at Winsor, and as much as people think I don't watch money, I do watch money. As you want to invest in my business, I do watch.
Absolutely.
I will watch your money.
Absolutely.
Before you get to that,
I'm very important about not doing lunches.
before you get to that,
Yes.
we're going to take a quick break. Talk about making money here. So
Oh, now leave
we'll
me
be-
hanging. The guy.
We're going to leave
says
everyone
is,
hanging. We'll be
we're
right
going to talk
back.
about money, right?
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Why are you going to take a break?
The Tucson NetworKings podcast is in search of a full-time sponsor. Let me tell you what's included. You get 3 episodes per month, 3 commercials per episode, including logo and professional voiceover message, 1 mention on the actual podcast with some witty banter, and your business name will be added to the sponsored by title on every podcast format. If you'd like to take advantage of this awesome opportunity, contact Gordy at 520-329-2923 or TucsonNetworkKings@gmail.com.
And we are back. And of course, we took the break exactly when he says, I have a great story about money, which means I stood up my seat a little bit like this.
Money,
There
money,
you go.
money. No, so a lot of people don't know me. Salespeople always get invited to lunches, breakfast. And a lot of times, 90% of the time, Porsha knows this, I will say no.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I don't want to go have lunch with you.
Yeah.
Because my work hours from 8 to 5 are so critical
That's
to my
right.
success. As much as I want to go have lunch with you, Gordy, I don't. But I'll take that same money and same time and invest it in a group like Tech Nerds Unite and have triple returns. Because if I went to lunch every day, I would average $50 to $75 with a client easily. Because when I do take people to lunch, it's probably 100, 110.
Yeah.
That's over $2,000 a month with individual people versus I can get a group of people together every month with sponsors, spend the same amount of money and have a great time
Yeah.
and get
Legendary
everybody
time.
talking.
Yeah.
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 And so
Thank
Legendary.
you.
it's not that the money's not available to network. It's just taking that money and spending it right. And I look at things like that all the time. I mean, we do raffle items not because
Yes. I'm just going to talk about that.
we do raffle items not because we want people to have fun at the event.
Right.
And we do quirky raffle
We
items.
do.
Yes.
We do very quirky
Well, we're
raffle.
nerdy.
But we're nerdy.
So we gotta
So-
do nerdy.
I want a nice taco head cover
Nice.
from a driver.
Yeah.
Taco head
Yeah,
cover.
Taco head cover.
God.
People, I use it all the time. People, what is
Yeah.
that? Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Well, but interestingly enough, though, the whole tech moniker, or excuse me, the whole nerd moniker, when you think of the top 5 richest people in the face of the earth, right? Even if you took the richest guy in the face of the earth,
Yeah.
screaming, incredibly socially awkward
Yep.
nerd by his own admission. So I think that maybe at one time, that might have been deemed a negative.
Sure.
But now the nerds of the world, it's like proudly. They're the ones that run the businesses and do the tech and have the successful thing. So, I think there's a tongue in cheek about that, but I think there's an element of the nerd community that they're maybe only uncomfortable, but not around themselves. Every person I've kind of, identified, maybe not as a nerd, but, maybe not in that area, they are once they get comfortable with you, they're fabulous. And I think the idea is you're creating an environment for people that, by their own definition, are maybe uncomfortable in groups and aren't good meeting people. And you go to a networking group, which is kind of a grab a beer and walk around, which is, it's kryptonite to somebody who's socially awkward and uncomfortable. And now you make them feel comfortable and introduce them to people that are there, and they're gonna respond very positively.
And they're gonna come back.
Absolutely,
And
and they're gonna bring 2 of their friends.
Exactly.
And they've built friendships. I mean,
Yes.
Oh,
after
yeah.
the events, we always say 4 to 6, but that's just to let people know. Edit this out, maybe, Gordy, so people don't show up all the time.
We don't edit anything.
Yeah.
Remember, family.
We're gonna put like a blinking light on this.
We played with the times all the time. We tried lunches. We tried 3 o'clock. We tried 5 o'clock. We tried Tuesdays. We settled on Thursdays, the third Thursday of every month, 4 to 6, because 4 to 6 for some reason triggered in people's brain. Oh, I can be there for a couple hours. We would love for them to be there till 7 o'clock. So we always have venues till 7 or 7:30.
sure.
But the reality is, after the events, a bunch of them now, they've become friends. They all go to bars somewhere else.
That's
They
and that's
continue.
the purest form when they don't just scatter right when you're done. That's the purest form of knowing you're working. They're continuing this community organically. So I mean
Right.
that's a great testament. I do have one question. Can I throw a question in
Yeah,
here?
absolutely.
So, what made you decide that it had to be you? Because you said something was so perfect. Most people don't want to spend any money on anything. So I've had people where I suggest in my professional life, well, why don't you take these people to lunch? And they're like, yeah, well, if I spend $100, I might not get anywhere with them. I love the idea that you said, I mean, yes, that's a risk, right? You're putting money into it. But what made you decide that I need to be the one that have this group? It needs to be me, as opposed to anybody else. I got to start that.
Well, because there was a lot of networking groups that we saw in Tucson, but it was just handing out business cards. A lot of times people ask me for my business card at the event. I don't even bring business cards. Like, I'm there to talk to people. People will come up to me and start asking me questions. Porsha will see this a lot. And I'll say, guys, I would love to talk to you about business, but I'm not here to talk about business. I'm here just to meet people,
Make sure
say
everyone's having
hi.
a good time.
Down
Yeah,
a
we can talk business
conversation.
anytime
Yeah.
you want.
Wow. Okay.
And,
The-
and
You're
we
building
wanted to
relationships
be-
first.
Yeah, exactly.
making sure
But wanted to be different, go outside of the norm
Mm-hmm.
of these normal networking groups. I wanted to bring a quirky, Joe's quirky, you can tell, right? I can bring a very obnoxious vibe to a group and be very loud. I used to be a teacher, Dawn, so I can get, people to sit and listen.
She's scary.
Yeah.
Oh, she bosses me around, man.
Teachers
Yeah.
are scary.
Ask my boss. I think he's scared.
She writes these playbooks, which I completely throw out the window, but it's all good because she knows it now that
I know.
she doesn't.
But that's it. We weren't going off script. We had a lot of fun, and we just bring that energy. And I think that's why a lot of people wanted to come.
People don't care what you know until they know that you care.
Yeah.
So Carla,
So when you start that, that's important.
So Carla at AZ Tech, they're great friends of ours. They have their After 5 events. They have their events.
Amazing events,
But
yeah.
they come to our events because it's a different event. It's not you go to
not
that event,
competing.
you expect to see a PowerPoint. You expect to
Right.
to get a name tag put on you properly. You go to our event, which color Sharpie do you want? Oh, we ran out of name tags. Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to write it on your shirt.
One of the things that you do and I really like is you celebrate successes.
Yes.
Go ahead and tell us what you do on that. That was really cool.
Well, I think, and Joe actually started this, but it's the movers and shakers, right? So we have members who have been with us for a long time, and look, they're moving, they're shaking, they're doing different things, they're growing in their career and their career path, and we want to celebrate. That's part of
Absolutely.
that community,
Yeah.
And if they change jobs, or if they get a promotion, or they get a certification of something, and we want to celebrate that.
And they're so excited about it.
And you
But
give
my
them-
wife Susan always says,
Yeah.
I give them a little mover, and my wife always says,
Like-
I said, Susan, they're excited about it because this is their group. They want to tell people,
Yes.
look I got promoted. This is what I did, or I started this
People
new
like
job.
that. If every
Yeah.
good news you've ever had in your life, you want to share with the people you love. Every bad news you've ever had in your life, you share with the people you love. So that's the environment that you should accept the acclamations and the appreciative responses. That's wonderful.
They give them a nice little tri-lamb branded, lambda branded martini shaker.
Martini
Yes.
shaker.
So it's
There's
great.
also, there's some drinking involved.
Yeah,
with our
there's a
groups,
little bit.
Too. Just a
We're
little
going to
bit.
get back to that
Oh,
one.
okay.
'Cause I have a story behind that one. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. The Tucson NetworKings podcast is in search of a full-time sponsor. Let me tell you what's included. You get 3 episodes per month, 3 commercials per episode, including logo and professional voiceover message, 1 mention on the actual podcast with some witty banter, and your business name will be added to the sponsored by title on every podcast format. If you'd like to take advantage of this awesome opportunity, contact Gordy at 520-329-2923 or TucsonNetworkKings@gmail.com. All right, we are back with Porsha Martinez and Joe Wells of Winsor Consulting, also of
Tech Nerds
Lambda Tech Nerds United, or is it Tech Nerds Unite?
Tech Nerds.
Oh, we should say I'm Windsor Consulting. I'm going to give Windsor a plug here, Brian, because I love you to death. Hey, guys, Porsha and me could not run.
Yeah.
We could not run Tech Nerds Unite without a corporate sponsor.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need a corporate sponsor because there's a lot of back end stuff. Involta, Jim Bowie, used to be that corporate sponsor when we were at Involta. When we came over to Windsor, we asked Brian, do you want to continue this? Because we could continue it, but it wouldn't be the same because you need communication. You need that back end
Resources,
support.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, yes, I want to support it, Joe. And so Windsor Consulting is now our big behind the scenes sponsor. And that's why we've
All right, great. Thanks for mentioning them.
Yeah, absolutely.
no.
Yeah.
And then we have our monthly sponsors, obviously, too,
Yeah.
which people have stepped up.
Yeah. Yeah. And we meet monthly, so we can have those technology partners.
Yeah.
And I told other people too, like On Top IT, like the Login. We've told everybody, hey guys, if you ever want to step up and be the back end office support of this group,
Sure.
it's all
You're
do
wel-
it.
you're welcome to,
do it.
exactly.
Right. No.
We'd love for you to be.
Well, we were talking during the commercial some of the stories that come out of these events because, as you mentioned, there's a little bit of drinking involved. However, we're going to keep the innocent at this point.
Right,
We're
exactly.
not going to mention names
We're
or
gonna change
stories.
the names.
But we're going to talk about your annual golf tournament fundraiser that you guys do for charity.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I know I played in the last 2 or 3 of them. It's a fantastic event, lots of fun. And that's mostly because of this lady right here next to me, Porsha.
Yes,
She
I'll
does
tell
a
her.
great job.
And,
getting
you
it
know, I
together.
mean, what is it to have community without giving back to others, right? Tucson is my my hometown, born and raised, and you know, having this platform to be able to get people together in different businesses and then give back to our community is so important. So Joe and I decided that we'd dip our toes into the golf tournament world, and you know, 4 years ago, we're going on our fifth, was to do a charity golf event, and we didn't know what we were doing in a charity golf event, but we did it. And so that first year, our beneficiary was, I think it was Kodak, Sakasa, right? And then each year we kind of traded off different. I mean, there's so many nonprofits here in Tucson, everywhere, and you know, there's a need. So we would pick one based on our members and what they need.
Is it always Cinco de Mayo, or is it around that time?
Nope, it's always Cinco de Mayo. We decided that the first year, and now we've coined it Cinco de Golf. So we're going on our fifth year. This is going to be at Skyline Country Club.
Okay.
And yeah, we're looking forward to it. And we've raised a lot of money. I mean, what is it now?
Over 250,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
That's fantastic.
like last year we got some press, and we don't do it for press, by the way, but we did get some press last year, raising $58,000.
Sukasa, right?
Yeah.
And so you see all the press like TEP giving checks for $10,000 to TMC and all these people raising this money. They're literally the people that work on your IT. These are not multimillionaires. Well, maybe a couple of them are, but some of the cars I've seen them drive. But
They're tech nerds.
they're tech nerds.
Yeah.
And they know it's going to charity, and they support the golf tournament, and they raise money. They come to it's a different type of golf tournament. It's a party golf tournament. And then for the non-golfers,
It's like a celebration, and you play
And
golf
you
on
get
the
to-
side.
right.
Yeah.
And
The
then
golf interferes with the party.
and then it's a
sometimes.
fiesta afterwards.
Yes.
So people that don't play golf can come to the Cinco de Mayo party. And then also because we're nerds, we actually don't like getting up early. And so we actually start the golf tournament at 12, not at 7 in the morning.
It's fantastic. It's a great event.
Well, the tech life, you work a lot of nights. Getting up at 7 to go play golf is not somebody's dream job.
Right. Yeah, that would be kind of cumbersome.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I love the idea that, you know, again, so many people don't start networking. They don't do anything. They sit on the sidelines and recognize the need. And not only did you start a fabulous group, but then you took it upon yourself to say, as if we don't have enough in the world, now we're going to do something else with no experience, no background, never did it before. And now $250,000 worth of money went to people that if you didn't do it, would have had none of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have such great respect for the entrepreneurial spirit because, again, most of the world sits by and, you know, we always say you can either act or be acted upon. I love people that act. That take it upon themselves, even though they know that it's hard and it's going to be, and you probably had to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Some of those days,
we did.
right? You know, where you could have been like, I'm not going to start something. I'll just go to somebody else's group, and there's enough golf things out there, and maybe I'll go play one or two. I have such great respect for people that start anything, because to me, that's what ultimately changes the world is somebody saying, let's do this.
So as we close out, I'd like to get a really big success story that's come out of Tech Nerds United. It could be for yourself or somebody else. I know I've had one already I've shared. So Porsha, we'll start with you. What's a good success story?
Actually just happened. So we're on our almost 6th year. And, you know, by that time it gets to be routine. You know, you're doing the same old thing and, you know, kind of looking at the watch sometimes. But 2 months ago, we had a newcomer, and again, sitting on the sidelines, very shy, brought him up, introduced him to a whole bunch of people, didn't really hear much. The next time he came, he pulled me aside, and he's like, I've met 5 new people and I've had meetings with them. And I so appreciate what you guys are doing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That's
It's
awesome.
And
I love
just
that.
got that. And it just, it reignited kind of my passion for this because it's just so good to hear that.
I don't think you realize the impact you have.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that this person, if it wasn't for you, would maybe go to nothing.
Like you said, it gets robotic.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's good. It keeps you
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
How about you,
Love
Joe?
that.
Oh my God. I mean, I could
Just
tell
one.
you.
Just one.
Just one.
I will tell you one big story.
Okay.
The one big story would be one thing I've seen in this group just flourish. You know, I always tell people if they're looking for a job or looking for a career change, come to the group. I've seen so many people get jobs at this event. I've helped people get jobs at this event.
You know what? I'm going to stop you right there. I think Joe just won the nugget of
There
the
you go.
week.
Oh!
We have a golden nugget that
Not
we're
to be
presenting to
confused
Joe.
with just a flimsy stuffed animal. This is actually the golden nugget of the day.
I get to keep it?
No, you got to give it back at the end of the show. We got to give it to somebody else. But
No.
you get to hold it. You get to hold it while you tell your story.
Well,
Please,
You can hold
please
it while
do.
you're telling it.
Yes.
So, I had
golden
these,
nugget.
I had this because it's one big story I told you.
Okay. Sorry.
So I had this one guy come up to me about a year and a half ago. He'd been wanting to become an IT manager, an IT director. And I gave him some guidance. I said, this is what I would do if I were you. Yeah, you don't want that ideal job, but this is what I would do because it'll get you that position you want. Today, he's almost a CIO for a major company in Tucson with over 1,500 employees.
Wow.
And he'll tell you to this day that taking that advice and getting that job that he didn't want, but gave him the skills that he needed to get the next job, he did it, and he's grateful.
I think I know this person.
You probably do know.
I think that's fabulous.
Yeah.
That was absolutely worthy of our golden nugget of the
Go to a
day.
networking event for a job. That's a good
Well,
nugget right
but I
there.
think
The owners like to meet people face to face.
But what he said was that it's the advice. A lot of times you get advice that on the surface doesn't seem right, doesn't seem appropriate, and yet when he took it, he now got what he ultimately wanted. So it isn't. I don't know if it's necessarily only making your cash register ring, but it's just the insight and the recommendations and the advice that you get. To me, is irreplaceable. You get 50, 100, 200 people in a room that are all really interested in you.
Yeah.
And are more than happy to do that. And they will give so freely of their time and energies. That's, you were to be complimented.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being on the show today.
Yes, absolutely.
Real quickly, you want to tell us how we can get a hold of you guys for IT services or anything else that or the actual the event?
Sure.
Okay.
I get so many phone calls right now, so I'm going to give my phone number again.
Okay.
Write this down because I don't know who got my phone number, but 520-419-3697.
Say it again.
520-419-3697. Text me if you just want to talk. Text me if you want to buy something.
You want to find out more about Tech Nerds Unite?
Exactly.
And you can go to
Text me if you want to go to Tech Nerds Unite because I did used to text people all the time, but thank you to Porsha, I don't have to text people anymore. She bought the system that will text you for me.
Oh my God, you gotta love that.
But you can also go to www.technerdsunite.com.
And you can of course reach out to us. We'll make sure we get you guys connected with them as well.
And if you have any other questions for the show, please feel free to email them at the Tucson Network Kings at gmail.com.
Yeah.
So I want to
We
thank
have
you
the
guys
crown.
again.
Yeah.
Thank you guys again for coming in and
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, that was
Oh, thank
fabulous.
you.
Yes, golf clap.
Appreciate it.
wow,
Yeah,
please, stay connected, everybody.
You've just experienced the Tucson NetworKings podcast. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe for more great tips about networking in Southern Arizona. If you'd like to leave a question, comment, or future topic, you can email them to TucsonNetworkKings@gmail.com. Also, if you'd like to know more about all of the networking events happening in town, make sure and check out networkingtucson.com. That's networkingtucson.com. Know where to go.